G'day everybody, it's Matt here, and today I've decided to try a different brand to ones I would normally look at in my search for some good walking shoes. I've got some ASOS ones here, and they don't even come in a box, much to my surprise. These are the ASOS Design Knitted Runner Trainers with chunky sole in light grey. Now from the pictures, this grey looks like it's going to be exactly the grey I'm looking for, but I don't know what the quality of these is going to be like. I don't know if they're going to be particularly comfortable. They are definitely a cheaper shoe compared to a lot of the other ones that I've looked at, but I like the colour. While they are chunky, I don't think that the styling is as out there as a lot of other brands, which is good. I like that sort of more minimal styling. And it looks like there's no branding on them as well, which I also like. I mean, I don't mind supporting a brand, but I mean, I'm kind of, in a way, promoting brands and that sort of thing with this and whatnot. But I'm all for not having branding on my clothes as well. I like simple, minimal styling. So minimal logos, all that sort of thing is awesome. Anyway, let's whip these out of their bag and paper wrapping and check them out. So on the plus side of this just being in a bag, it's apparently made from recyclable materials and is recyclable itself, so that's a good thing. So that is our shoe. So this is them, and as you can see, they're both a low profile boot type of thing, but also very chunky in the sole. Now these shoes are a synthetic textile upper construction with a synthetic insole, which is fixed, it is stuck in, and a rubber chunky midsole and outsole. And I can tell you right now, just holding these are some of the heaviest shoes I've actually held in quite a while. There's a lot of weight in this sole, and it really is chunky. Now, other things I've noticed just at first glance is that while these are a lace-up style shoe, I think the laces are largely ancillary. It's basically an elasticized cuff anyway. So once you've set those laces how you want them, you can probably just slip these on and off. Other thing I've noticed is there is no reinforcing around any of these lace holes, which makes me wonder how well this would last if you're actually pulling these laces tight all the time, or even just pulling that lightly. I can kind of see it's pulling this textile out here and putting pressure on it. So I don't know that these are going to last very well based on that. That's always a question when you're getting a shoe that's as cheap as these ones are anyhow. Now these are also meant to be a padded boot. There's not really any padding in around this boot at all. It really is just this thin textile layer, like what you see here on this tongue section basically runs the whole way around the boot. Now, these are made in China, and these were meant to be an AU11, which ASOS has put as a UK 11, being the same thing. And this apparently converts to a Euro 46 and a US 12. So these are actually a lot bigger size-wise than I would normally go for. I would normally go for a US 11, so down one size from this. But the size chart was a bit unclear on that, and this is the size it recommended for me. So I'll give it a try. Other things to note, there is very little reinforcing anywhere around the upper of this shoe. Like the whole thing just folds basically flat. It's very squishy. So it's certainly not a shoe you want if you want a lot of ankle support, because most of your support is going to come from just this little bit of the actual sole that goes up higher than where your foot sits, because your foot actually is sitting down around about here-ish. So anyway, we'll put them on. We'll see how they look, see how they feel. So as usual, I'm trying these with my Skechers no-show socks, which are my favourite for walking in. And I've undone these laces, but I'm not sure that it's really necessary. So anyway, we'll slip that on. And yeah, that goes on fine. And definitely that size up that the ASOS size charts have recommended to me is worth doing. Because really, already I've got just under an index finger's width in the toe there, which suggests that potentially they're even a little bit small still. So these definitely are running on the small side. Lacing up, you can see that it is pulling a lot around this. I'm definitely a bit concerned about that from a durability perspective, but as I mentioned, I suspect once these are done up, that they can just stay done up and just turn these into a slip-on shoe. There we go. All laced up. First thing I can say is underfoot, they're definitely not a soft, squishy sole at all, which you might be tempted to think you would have when there is so much of that sole. But it's not. And I definitely feel like we're a bit on the narrower side around the ball of the foot as well. So definitely smaller sizing on these ones. And yeah, now that I'm standing upright, I'm actually feeling like there's even less room in front of my toes. Like I've got not even half of an index finger's width in front of my big toe there. And I'm really feeling the pressure both in the front of the shoe and on the top of the shoe. It definitely feels tight on my big toe, so that's not great. I'm also, I don't know, I'm not sure how I feel about this really low cut style around the ankle there. I don't mind the lack of anything really rigid and firm around here. I feel like what's in the sole actually does a decent job of supporting the ankle and foot, and that I don't really notice that there's not much in that upper area. I feel like they do breathe well, and that my foot is extremely well locked onto the ground. Like there's tons of grip, and that's not surprising because these soles, besides being chunky and rubber, they feel sticky as well to touch, just a little bit sticky, not a lot. So they really are locking on. I do feel like they breathe well, and look, they're not an uncomfortable shoe, but they're not the sort of shoe that you would want to be standing in on hard surfaces all day long at all, because there really is virtually no cushion in the heel. There is in the ball of the foot, there is some there, but not really under the heel. And that's where you can really feel it a lot when you're standing all day long. I will say that my feet do feel really snug in these shoes, and it's not bad. It is definitely tighter around the toe. It's too small, but they do feel really nicely open. And I do think that it's definitely going to work as a slight on type of shoe. Like I could just slip my foot over it really easily then without undoing the laces. And back on is nice and easy as well. So once they're done up, these laces can definitely work that way. Although it looks like they do come undone pretty easily with just a single knot, so you probably want to double knot them if you're going to use them that way. So these shoes are definitely growing on me. They're not the most comfortable, but they're growing on me. So that is the ASOS Knitted Runner Trainer in grey. They're made in China. They're quite firm underfoot, but nevertheless they do feel quite good on, and they hug your foot. I have some concerns about the quality, and they definitely run small size-wise, but I do like the colour, I like the style and the aesthetic, and I think they could potentially be a good option if you don't need them to be super soft and comfortable underfoot, but you need a cheap, stylish-looking shoe. They're going to grip well, they breathe pretty well, there's not tons of support in the upper, but surprisingly, your foot gets really locked in. Very nice shoe for the price. Probably not for me, unfortunately, because they're not comfortable enough underfoot, but definitely digging them, liking what ASOS is doing there. I do have some concerns about the durability, like with these laces and how that's done, and being just such a simple upper, but worth checking out if you need a low-cost shoe. So I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to like it and also subscribe to my channel for more videos like this from me. Bye for now.